Okay, so can I take now a moment to introduce Professor Andy Miao, who is looking at a number of different directions with wearables. Google Glass being one of them, so we thought we'd do a little bit of fashion show today. So over to Andy. Sorry, Professor Tim Young.
Okay. So I've got presentations there.
So you're based in Manchester?
Yes, I'm based in Manchester in the Hornets faculty. Actually, I'm not kind of a human, enhancement, but I think I am giving you some example of some projects we've been doing using Google Glass with the Manchester Art Gallery. Okay? So actually, this project is based on the Creative Augmented Reality Hub, which is based on Hornets faculty. We are actually looking at a number of different kind of new and innovative ways to how you're going to use augmented reality to kind of implement in various different industries, especially in creative industry. Okay? And we've been doing some couple of different projects. It was like a Dublin AR project with the Dublin City Council, and also we've been doing some project with the Art Gallery and the City Council and Manchester this year. So I'm going to give you some kind of present our project as a case of how augmented reality can be used in the art context. So this is our team and some researchers and 3 PhD researchers, and also we are working. We have been working with for Google Glass project with one American Google Glass developer from California, and also we have a number of different partners for international project. Okay? So I'm sure you heard about augmented reality. It's actually overlay of digital information to real world. So around us is all kind of real world, but using any digital device like a mobile phone or tablet or even wearable like a Google Glass, you can get further information. So actually your experience can be enhanced. And the augmented reality is an interesting technology because many people consider this as a media. So printing, recording, cinema, radio, TV, and internet, mobile, and then we say the augmented reality is a big thing which whole industry will be influenced by. And we are particularly looking at how this technology can be used for a number of different areas in the creative industry, like advertising. I think it's the retail side. I think there are lots of experiments that's been going on there, but architecture, art, and culture, heritage, and film, music, there is huge potential for these technologies to be applied. And I don't want to talk about this creative industry, how important creative industry is in this country, but 2 main kind of industry will be digital industry and the creative industry. So we are looking at this particular sector, and especially we are looking at creative tourism. The first generation of tourism, beach tourism, and second will be cultural tourism. Now we are moving to creative tourism, which we are more looking at interaction, engagement with tourists and also actual tourist attraction in the destination. And augmented reality in tourism context, there are 2 different ways of application. Number one is GPS space, which you can find where it's a tourist attraction or restaurants which you want to find, so using GPS base. And second one is marker base, which is using QR code or image recognition, which is widely is popular or it's useful for indoor environment like a museum and art gallery. And previous project before we do the Google Glass project was Dublin AR project. We developed both for the outside, outdoor environment and indoor environment. And this is some snapshot of the prototype applications. So one for the general post office and another one for outdoor GPS space. The background of this project was that there are many different cultural heritage trails in Dublin. Okay? And the Dublin city want to do some kind of do project how we can explore better. Okay? And also there are some Irish independence in 2 years' time, there are 100th celebration. So that's why we have been involved in this WNAL project, specifically focused on the Independence Trail. And these are some of the photographs we took in Dublin project. So students have been experiencing this mobile application both outside and inside. Now, Google Glass, after the project, we finished the Dublin AL project, and we thought about, we should do something in Manchester and also not mobile but more wearable. So that's why we started to think about new project using Google Glass and exploring augmented reality experience. Google Glass is wearable. There are a couple of benefits because you can access information immediately surrounding you, and also it's hands-free. So it's quite different experience compared to mobile applications. So it can give you more freedom, but also there are some very different way where people, in terms of cognitive or behavioral, psychological perspective, slightly different from mobile device. And we did some project with the Manchester Art Gallery, and in collaboration with the City Council and Marketing Manchester, and also 33 Lab, which is a Google Glass app developer in America. So we've done this project from January, early this year, until June. So we just finished this project. And this is the first kind, first of its kind in the UK and Europe, especially in the arts and the museum context. Okay? So this is one of the example of first kind of a Google Glass test application. So we use one painting called Cheetah and Step with the 2 Indians. So we use one painting, and we actually people can take a picture of this painting and then to share with the library, and then they can get 3 more slides, card about painter and also about the background of the painting. So where it is painted, why the point. So this kind of application was useful to kind of test how people think about what do they like or what they don't like. I'm going to give you some kind of example. Let's say if you wear a Google Glass and you see this painting, and then do you have a speaker here?
This painting
Yes.
is a masterpiece by one of Britain's greatest artists, Jung.
So people can hear this audio.
This work illustrates a moment of drama.
It comes from the speaker and the actual light.
Yes, actually you can hear this audio at the same time when you see these paintings.
It depicts a true story of George III was given a cheetah as a gift by someone in France. King George III has got his own, which used to look after all the king's animals and breeds of calm.
So think about this experience. I mean, normally if you go to art gallery or museum, then I think you saw the little kind of tag which, who is painter and what it's about. But actually you need to figure out and understand what artists want to tell you. Okay? But this little information help people to experience better. I think there are some borderline between what artists want to tell, but sometimes it's better not to give too much information to the visitors, but at least these give some certain level of information which help people or visitors to understand better these art objectives. And we actually tested a number of different people, about 28 people, in a wide range of age distribution, from teenagers to the 60s. And based on this testing, we get some feedback, right? And so people want some more navigations. Okay? okay, from one painting to another painting, and also they need some connection between paintings. So this painting, is any other paintings available in this art gallery by this painter? Okay, or similar things. It's a cheetah and that it's an animal thing. So is there any other paintings with similar thing, or same medium like oil on canvas? So people want some more connection between paintings, and also they want to share. Okay, once they experience that, they want to share through the social media like a Facebook or Twitter. Okay, and they want more content. Interestingly, they don't. We actually in the initial testing we put a video, but I mean most people thought they didn't like the video in the Google Glass. Okay, they want more lead aloud functions. It depends on the personal preference, but that was some interesting outcomes. And okay. So, but we found there are some advantages of using Google Glass. Actually, majority people they actually like it, and actually they felt that it enhanced their experience much better. However, there are some drawbacks as well. Like I mean, Andy, I think, and you may have experienced this sort of drawbacks like heating up. Okay, and because I think you can feel the heat here, right? And also because it's a prototype, there are application was not really working smoothly. So there are some crashes, so and also some freezing. That sort of kind of things happen during the experiment. Okay, and also. I think audio quality is a bit noisy, and sometimes when people talk about and this actually Google Glass device actually can take that audio, so it can disrupt their experience. Right? However, modern people they quite happy with using this Google Glass in the art gallery, and this is some example of a museum Zoom application prototype. So from here. I think you can get further information about when it was painted, where it was painted, what was medium, okay? And the size and the specifications. And then there's a lead aloud functions. So actually you can hear that kind of audio kind of information which you just heard before. And also you can actually share this information. And then you can get. And you have some options, some other paintings in the same thing. So I'm not sure whether you can see that there's a lions and then some horses. So similar thing, you can have options to explore. Okay? And then further information about other painters. Okay? And also we tested, with the art gallery, actually cheetah and stack with 2 individuals gallery 3, and then Google Glass will tell you, okay, I think I want to go for a lion, okay, then actually guide where to go. So it's kind of this navigation was employed in the second testing, right? So it's interesting result we found, and actually the biggest advantage of using Google Glass is possibly being in control of their own journey. So so they can actually control the environment. Okay? And we are actually looking at a number of different ways in social learning or a number of different ways. But I can control. If I want to know more about, then I will use it. If I don't want to, just kind of switch off. But still, you can actually look around the art gallery. Okay? And this is some. There's a video clip about the feedback from one of the visitors, but I think it's not working here at the moment, okay, for some reason. Okay? And then I think there are lots of interest in both in Manchester and other places in the UK. So I've been talking to this Google Glass project in a number of different seminars and workshops. Okay? And also we got some media attention, like Guardian talked about, and Manchester Evening News, and Mancunian Manchester Culture 24. And they showed quite interest, because it's one of the first kind of project which you use Google Glass in the art gallery context. And now I think we are very interesting kind of a stage at the moment from our team's point of view, because after that project, I think we've been involved in a number of different international projects, like Malaysia. We are currently working on the Langkawi Geopark Interpretive Center using Google Glass. So people experience small interpretive center, and if they learn more, then they will visit more other geoparks, and also they will stay more, spend more. So actually helping tourism economy. And also we've been working on the project with the National Art Gallery in the Kuala Lumpur. Similar type, but I think it's more enhanced or upgraded project. And also locally, lots of other museums like Imperial War Museum and Manchester Jewish Museum. They want to do some project with us, and also we are currently looking at some possibility in the Kim Mai Museum in Cornwall and the Tate Gallery in St. Martin's. So I think it's quite an interesting journey for us, and I think we are looking forward to more work, using this augmented reality idea, but lots of different devices. Especially Google Glass is one of the wearables. It's only one of them, but we are looking at some smart kind of garment and smart socks. So we are working on, we're discussing with Cornell University to do some project using smart wearable project as well. Okay? So I think that's it. Yeah.
Right, so the way we thought that this project fits within our human enhancement, because that sort of gives it a little bit of first step understanding what actually happens and what people want to do. So we wanted to talk a little bit more about how the experiences from the project could feed the understanding of helping people with disabilities.
Yes.
Because I know you have some thoughts on that.
Yeah, I think after this project, we thought about how we can use this Google Glass or this AR project to help, especially some people with either a hearing impairment or visual impairment. And one of the discussions I had with a professor of deaf education in Manchester University was that there are about 1 million people either partially or they've got some hearing impairment, and then we're looking at how we can help those, especially young children who are very much like to use technology, and also there are some demand for the they need to experience art and culture same level as the older people. So we are looking at that kind of project in the future. And also, when I visited Cornwall, there's Kim Mai Museum. This is a UNESCO World Heritage. So it's quite big actually site. And actually, if you are very old people, or if you are very kind of young, small school children, actually you can't really actually go and experience that industrial heritage. Okay? So we are looking at some way how we can actually help those people to experience, even not actually visiting actual site. Okay? So So that is something which is actually museum itself and also the society actually they are exploring that kind of opportunity. So I think there are some room for the that disability people with disability in tourism context.
Questions for the Google Glass developments?
Has it been used in surgery so that surgeons are working on a very small area, his colleagues can see what he sees and then information can be fed to him if that would be useful?
I think there are some few surgeons in the hospital, they are actually using Google Glass for, I think there are two purposes. One is for the operation, but one for the training for junior doctor to actually experience first person. Yeah. So I think there are a number of people actually exploiting that in medical area.
Using iPads. They are using iPads a lot because they can actually map where the bits are supposed to be when they cut the rope, so you don't get the wrong pieces.
A bit worrying, actually.
Yeah.
It's just a bummer when they wake up there and iPad inside.
Do you think that the Google Glass could be made into a contact lens?
Sorry.
And the Google Glass, you've got them as glasses for a lot of people who have contact lenses.
Yes.
Do you think that's the future where it's going into the contact lens?
Yes, I think actually I'm wearing contact lens. I think like Andy, do you have a glass now or no? No. But there are special kind of texts which you can use, okay, if you are wearing glasses already, okay. But I think eventually, in the future, I think this computer was PC now, more laptop and tablet and wearable. I think eventually it's can be part of your body. I think that's going to happen. It's kind of an embodiment process, and I think we are actually where it's like Google Glass is like a first step that computer or any artificial intelligence is being part of your body. Okay, so it's going to happen in the there are contact lenses that you can.
Ray Kurzweil talks about that.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
There is a Google contact lens prototype that's developed mainly as a diagnostic tool, so it would be used for people that have, for example, diabetes, so we can detect needs of insulin. So it's used principally. I think one of the things interesting is to think about it as it is a multi-purpose device. So its functions typically are not for kind of helping us in terms of monitoring our health, but those are the sorts of applications with the prototype lenses. But in this case, it's a projection that's being used, and of course, anyone that does photography understands the importance of space when you think about a lens and what it's capable of doing. The challenge for a contact lens is to create that sense of depth that you achieve with an optical lens without having the space, and that's one of the big challenges.
There was another question?
Excuse me, I've not worn a glass, I don't know if the visual experience is on a lens or if it's on a separate device. But I was wondering if you had, as you produce the documentation for the galleries and the museums, if there were particular content types you felt that needed to kind of start to form that were kind of native to that worn interface. It's one thing you mentioned that you had trouble with video and that was unsettling for people to take. But will there be other kind of types of media we need to capture for the future? Is it 360-degree panoramas that we need to do as kind of studios while the artist is working? Are there other forms that you kind of think will emerge and come about through this technology?
I think actually when we use Google Glass, I think you can't really process a lot of data, so you can't actually you in the screen actually you can't read the book. Okay, it's not designed for that. It's very simple and just instant information. But I think what this will do is actually triggering the point which you can make people to access those a lot of data. Okay, but the question is if you don't know, if you don't engage one particular point, then there's no way you will go deep into. Okay? But this wearable device will kind of triggering your interest, and then explore in depth, which without this one you may never actually go into that.